In this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, Naruto and his father Minato come together and give their chakra to the entire Shinobi Alliance to take on the power of Obito and the Ten Tails. This episode was awesome for a number of reasons. 1, the animation and the quality was much better than last week's. And 2, there was a brand new opening and ending. And the opening was pretty damn awesome. I'm not really a big fan of the song, which is called Silhouette by a band KANA-BOON, but I did love the imagery. In fact, it was definitely one of the most visually appealing intros that I've seen. I especially love that one scene when they actually show Naruto as a young kid morphing into his teenage self and then going into Kurama mode. It just sort of gives you like a nice reflection on the entire series. Not to mention, it gives a lot of teases for the next couple of battles that are getting ready to happen. Although I do feel it is a little spoilerific, especially with some of the imagery they show at the very end of the intro, but it definitely gets the hype going, especially that one scene where you get to see Kurama covered entirely with the Susanoo, and then there's also the scene where the Susanoo is literally riding on top of the giant fox while firing an arrow. It's the type of thing that could only work in Naruto at this point, but it just gets me really excited. The scene with Obito at the end, though, that's definitely kind of spoilerish. Speaking of which, Obito was awesome this week, although, God, does he take forever to cover himself in his own black chakra shield. That scene was almost kind of goofy by the time it finally closed in on his eye, but it was definitely a nice build-up, especially when the massive Ten Tails thing just erupted out of the sky, this big spiky tentacle, and it had all of those flowers all over it, and it traps everybody in a barrier and tries to blow them away. But Naruto has this brilliant plan where both him and Minato bump fists, and both forces of Kurama get to come together, and he distributes all of their chakra to the Shinobi Alliance and uses that as a shield. Or at least that's what we were all thinking at first. This was actually a really clever plan by Naruto, where Minato was going to use his flying Raijin technique to sort of teleport everybody outside of this barrier, and that's because they were all connected by the chakra. And I love the way Naruto tries to describe this, and then Tobirama has to dress it up and make it seem a little more ninja-like. It is also worth mentioning that, damn, Tobirama is awesome. He has come up with some of the best techniques of the entire series. Otherwise, that's pretty much the end of this episode. It was very simple, but it definitely had some great animation and artwork, and that was immediately noticeable from the very beginning, so it's definitely worth checking out. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? Awesome. Loved the intro, really liked the episode. I especially loved the teamwork between Minato and Naruto, and a lot of the imagery and artwork just really sold this episode, especially just the large, wide landscapes of the battlefield, especially when that massive barrier was being erupted. The look of the Ten Tails tentacle is both creepy and ominous, and it's also the nice first clue to the things that are going to be happening later on as this arc is going on. Obito this week looked great. I especially loved that since the animation and the artwork was better, he definitely just visually popped a lot more this week. I especially loved when he was firing his chakra balls all over the place and how it created the barrier. I just thought that looked really cool in and of itself. It was also kind of cool how Jugo thought both him and Sasuke were going to escape, but it was basically Naruto who ended up saving all of them. And again, it was just funny getting to hear Naruto's actual explanation of how the technique works. I've already talked about some of the stuff in the intro, like all the cool imagery and how it sort of like reflects on the entire Naruto series, but the ending does that as well. In fact, it mostly features all of the old characters, and it just sort of has that old Naruto vibe that's kind of hard to describe, but if you've watched the original anime series, you kind of know what I'm talking about. And I don't know, it feels very Naruto, and I think that's what's really awesome. Clearly, I don't think this is going to be the final intro of the show. I think we still got a long ways to go. Although, when they do their next intro, I hope that they don't try to spoil things too much, especially in the intro this week, because they show a lot of key scenes. They don't show, like, the major details behind them, but the fact that they show all that Obito stuff, and I can't believe they already showed the Kurama covered in Susanoo, like, that really shocked me, because that's actually one of my favorite scenes from the entire series and from this arc. It's really exciting, and just like the previous intro, when they showed Kakashi and Obito fighting, and then they finally showed it in the episode, I really hope they do that again for all the things that are getting ready to happen in this arc, because the stuff that you see Madara doing in that intro is so freaking awesome. Him just flying around, slamming through pillars, fighting against Naruto and Sasuke, him literally breakdance fighting. It's just so exciting and gets the blood pumping, and it honestly looks like movie quality stuff. So it's a great intro. It's got great colors, just really nice dark reds and deep blues. It just really like accentuates the emotion of the intro, and it gets you really pumped up for the show. So this week's pretty good episode combined with the new intro and ending was really good. But there were a few flashbacks I felt really didn't need to be there. A lot of them involved Minato and Kushina, although they do serve a purpose, which is to try and give you the feels and let you understand like why Minato's been doing all of this and how he's like seen Naruto grow. I just feel like they could have cut them all out by half and maybe given us a little more action. Otherwise, this was still a pretty good episode filled to the brim with all of your favorite characters, good animation and artwork, and that ending and intro kicked ass. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 4 out of 5. Check it out, guys. Awesome stuff. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you like this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up, and please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden. What did you think of the brand new intro? Did you like it? And what about that ending? And what do you want to see from the future episodes of Naruto Shippuden? Remember guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do so. You can do that by clicking on this button right up here. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.
Do you like Amazon.com? I know I do. Corey and I now have an Amazon link in our video description box below. And if you go to it and buy anything through Amazon.com, it will support our channel. So bookmark that link, make it happen, and support our channel without having to do a damn thing.
Another great way you guys can help support our channel is by donating directly through our PayPal link in the description box below. We recommend $2 a month, although this is completely optional. But the best way to go about this is by sneaking into your mom's room and taking $2. This way, she won't even notice. And we won't have to shake you up for all of your lunch money. So guys, that concludes this review today. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.